friends, it's already that time again. It's a new batch of architect homes. I feel like they're a little early this time around. I think I just did one like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago maybe. But this is late May 2019, and we're going to take a look at the first one and see what we're going to see here. The outside design is actually pretty good. I don't like the wraparound porch necessarily. That's just not my personal taste, as well as those balconies in the back, but a lot of people do like those. I like that balcony there, and there's a porch underneath that as well. They've done the stone exterior. And taking a look inside, not really my style again, but I kind of like where they went with the design of it overall. It's actually not bad at all. If I were to remodel it, I would just decorate it differently, but the rooms all make sense. They have some chalet items in there, and there's a little TV room over there, a downstairs bath. So that's a pretty good layout. And then upstairs, there's a bedroom. What I do like about it is the layout, definitely. They have a little kitchenette in there, a nice closet, a spacious bathroom. That looks like the master suite there. And then a guest room maybe back here. So is it worth the money? Not to me, but I like the design of it. So moving on to number 2. Let's see what we have here. I had some comments in my last video that some people did not like this batch, so we'll have to see. So far, the first one wasn't bad at all. I don't really like the design of this one so far. It's kind of square for me. I know a lot of people like that, but I just like dimensions on the outside, just different dimensions and interesting roof lines. But if you come into the front hallway, you can go here to what looks like a master bedroom. It's just a lot of white and blues and blacks. It's not the kind of house that I would really, be excited about. That's a huge room okay, it's a half bath. I thought it was just a toilet in there. And then here's a TV area, all brick and tile everywhere. And then you come in here and you have this. Now, this is kind of strange. Nothing matches. They have black chairs, navy blue chairs. They have a pink wall. They have the peach wall that meets it. Absolutely nothing matches. They do have a big kitchen, which is good, but I'm not really quite sure why they chose the items that they did. And this basement actually looks familiar. I'm thinking this is another recycled one that's been redone and then resubmitted. Okay, there's definitely going to be a wallpaper glitch there because that's flooring. But if you look beyond that, even look what they did with the wallpaper here. That was chosen by the person who designed it, green and with the red hearts. And then look at this. Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's just my opinion. I do not like this house at all. Definitely not worth the money, and I'm really not sure why this was chosen. So, first one was okay. The second one is not okay. Let's go to number 3. So let's look at the overall structure first. Okay, so it's looking like it's going to be an apartment building from what I can tell. I like the outside design, kind of a loft style with the brick. So yeah, there's definitely 2 units here. Even though I don't like the colors, you can tell that they put a lot of effort into the design and the actual decoration of it. If those are your colors, they did a good job because everything makes sense. And so there's the kitchen parts of them, and then it looks like now there's no flooring here. That's kind of strange. They just left the floor bare. But if you look at the rest of it, that actually isn't bad at all. And here's the living room for the other one. Again, no flooring. They just have the basic subfloor there. This is not my style at all with decor, but I do like the structure, I have to say. So they have the bedroom level up here on each side with the bathrooms, the ensuite baths in the back. And then each of them could either have an extra bedroom up there or, like they did on this side, an office and gym. So this one's sort of confusing because the person has good taste in the way they design the structure, but then when you go inside, a lot of it just doesn't look very good. So let's go to the next one. see where we are. We did that one, so we're on number 4. This one looks familiar too. Yeah, we've seen this one I think a couple of times actually. I do like the house. It's just, again, for an architect home, a lot of people would really like this because they don't have a big inventory. So if you look at the overall house, the person who designed this has good taste. Not my taste, but they have good taste. You do get those pink wicker sofa and chair sets back there. Then remember the catwalk here. So they did a great job designing the house. It's laid out nicely. If you like the French decor, it's decorated very pretty. They have an office there. So I think I've pretty much always given that one a thumbs up, even though I wouldn't personally buy it. So let's go to number 5. Wow, this is different. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is very different. This is not what I'm good at. I am not good at making houses that are shaped in unique ways like this. Let's see what they've done in here. Okay, well, first of all, the flooring and the brick, a major no-no. But if you look at it closely, it looks like an authentic Latin home. They did a beautiful job combining the furniture and laying out the room. I just don't like the floor color with the wall color. But see, look at this. This looks very nice. So if you look really closely, you can see that they put a lot of effort into this. Even though it's not something that I would normally go for, I'm looking at the overall design of it, and the person, I think, did a very wonderful job. It's a little busy for me, but again, the house makes sense. This would actually be pretty interesting to remodel. Not only because I'm seeing things that I would like to do to it, but because if you took a lot of this out and made it more of like a minimalistic home, the shape of the architecture, I think, would shine even more than it already does. So I do like that house. It's just not, not my style. So let's move on. And this one's pretty neat too. Look at this. I like the outside of it. Way too many plants for me. But looking at the structure itself, it definitely needs some more windows in the back and right there in the left on the front. But let's take a look at the inside. I like the little entryway, and then you come in here, and as you can see, the person who did this, they really put a great effort into it. I really like the pops of yellow in the kitchen, and yeah, I like the design of this home a lot, actually. I think I may purchase this one. Of course, that wallpaper glitch is going on, but let's ignore that and let's look at the way their rooms are placed. There's an empty room there, which I'm sure probably the game took the furniture out. But this is definitely one worth remodeling. I really like the design and the layout of this house. It just needs more windows in the front and less plants. So I forgot what number we're on, but we're going to just move ahead here. And looks like we're on this one. It really looks interesting from the thumbnail. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, that's unique as well. So they've really taken to the bi-level roofing, obviously. Not a fan of all the plants, just not. I'm really not a fan of the dark blue and black combination. That could be lightened up on the front. Different mixed patios there. You come in the entryway, and no, I'm sorry, this is just, it doesn't match. There's just no theme to it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Nothing matches. Well, okay, that little spa room matches, but nothing matches. I think that was probably supposed to be a garage there. And then you come up the stairs. It's just one of those houses, guys, that doesn't make sense, and I'm really wondering what in the world. I'm wondering how this is an architect home. I have no idea who would want this house and who would spend that much money on it. I believe it's around 7 million simoleons. And then we have another floor here. And they've just randomly placed arcade games everywhere. Just a lot of random things everywhere, and I'm just not a fan. That's a hard pass for me. So I guess we will move on to the next one. Again, I don't remember what number we're on, but I will remember the large blue house. Let's see here. Right here we are. And this looks familiar to me. I know what it is. It's that large luxury home that I actually remodeled as a request. They've, of course, altered it a lot, but this is definitely that house. They took off the back quarter of it there and made a pool and patio area. I hated this house to begin with. It has a lot of stuff if you're looking for inventory. I can't remember what the house is called. Looks like they've added a basement because if I remember correctly, either didn't have a basement or I took it out. It's just a rather large home with a lot of useless space. It does have some nice things in it in its original form if you're looking for inventory items, but it's just not a home that's conducive to just a family living there. It's a bit ridiculous, and I hated the design. I hated remodeling it. I was glad when I was finished with it. I'll have to go back and see if I can find the video and maybe link it in the description or in one of the pinned comments. But I don't even like what they've done to it, to be honest with you. I didn't like the house in the first place. It wasn't even worth remodeling. And to actually buy the huge thing as it was and do it this way, I just don't like it. Again, lots and lots of wasted space, and it just doesn't look nice at all. I don't know why they keep bringing it back as architect homes in different forms. It's kind of strange, but let's move on. So that was definitely a pass for me. This one looks maybe interesting from the thumbnail, and it's huge. This is definitely an apartment building. You can tell by the differently decorated balconies. I know a lot of people love those large builds like apartment buildings and hotels. I don't enjoy doing them. I've done a few of them for requests. Once I did them, I was glad I did, but it's just not something that I sit down and say, hey, I want to do this. So a lot of people do, though, and this looks familiar too. I think this may be yet another redone one. I'm not sure, but it's not bad or anything. It's just not something that, although I'm not sure why there's a room with cat dishes in it in an apartment building with just the cat room, but that's obviously like a little kitchenette for the residents. And yeah, just differently decorated apartments, as you can see. And yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's just not my thing. Now, this may be one of those builds that someone might want to remodel. It's not necessarily a build that I would buy for inventory because a lot of the items in it are very old. So it's not going to be one of those builds where you would spend your simoleons to get rare items or items that you missed in events. It would definitely be that you would be buying it for the layout because, again, you're not going to be getting anything that I can see anyway as I'm kind of quickly going through here. You wouldn't be getting anything that probably you missed, if that makes sense. So that's that one. Definitely a pass for me, but maybe for other people. So let's move on, and hopefully you can't hear too much background noise. My husband is actually working on something, so if you hear it, I apologize. Let's find where we were here. So that was the apartment building, so we're on this one. And, oh, this looks pretty. I love the design of it. Very, very pretty. And I had never thought to use that roof with that exterior. That is really nice looking. What a beautiful house on the outside. So it has a basement. And, you know, I don't really like big basements. Some people do. But the way it's laid out makes sense. It's very pretty. I love the colors that they chose. That is a very huge closet, though. Just huge rooms, not really my thing, but at least they make sense, right? So you come in the front door. There's a nice entryway there. Big dining room. And you get a few of the new items like the wine racks on the wall. You get the knife and cookbook, the apron hanger with the canisters. You get one of those pink flower arrangements. And I like how they did this. This is pretty. And another huge closet. Oh, I get it now. Look, it looks like a beauty YouTuber's house. They have the camera sitting there, the desk, the vanity over there. That may be what that is. That's pretty cool. But I actually may remodel this one. I think it's very pretty. It resembles my bi-level farmhouse that I used to have that I just did the remodel on into the Arizona home. That was my last video if you want to check that out. And here is the next one. I can already tell you I do not like this house. There's no windows on the front on one side, and then we have all of these. We have a lot of mismatched doors. It looks like they took the designer home and tried to remodel that and added a huge basement along with a lot of other things. It just is not my style at all. If you're into this kind of thing, great. That theater is huge. Looks like there's a wine cellar. I mean, I get the idea behind it. That's a really big office with a lot of computers. These are the types of builds I really don't get. I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be. Are they supposed to be family homes? But then again, why do you have a huge computer lab that would probably belong in a school? And then you have the normal rooms like a kitchen and a dining area. I like this. I like the little back porch. It almost looks like a glassed-in porch. But I just don't like this house. It's a bit much. I'm not really sure why some of the things in it are there. And then you come upstairs and just a lot of rooms, and I mean a lot. And there's another kitchen up here. I don't think it's supposed to be apartments, but I'm not sure. It's just definitely not something that I would want to have to deal with. This is one of those builds where I'm asking you, please do not have me remodel it, because I don't want to. It's just not something that I would. And then you have this room here that makes no sense. They just piled a bunch of the Wizards items or whatever in there. And then, as if the huge theater downstairs wasn't enough, they have another one. See, there's the huge one downstairs. Then you come up and you have yet another one, which is kind of strange. So I don't know. It's a very strange home. And then if you really look closely, just a lot of mismatched things. Like if you're looking at the front, the windows are placed strange, and then you have this area here that doesn't match the rest of the house. And then coming around, a lot of mismatched windows and doors. I think there's 3 or 4 different kinds of windows on the home and 2 or 3 different kinds of doors. The balconies are all kind of placed funny. They're overlapping and not symmetrical at all. It's just a strange house. I don't like it. So let's move on. I think we may be getting close to the end at this point. Yeah, this is the last house. This already looks interesting to me. Wow. This is unique. This is kind of strange. I know we can do that now, but I don't know. To me, on top of the building like that, it's just nothing that I would want to do. But I guess it's trying to be like a hanging garden type thing, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't have a basement. You come in, and I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be. If it's supposed to be a family home, because there's an office in the front. I don't know if that's supposed to be a living room, because look at this huge laundry area. I mean, how much counter space could you possibly need to fold your clothes with just one washer and dryer? It's kind of strange. And then we just have rooms that have lamps in them. And, I mean, this is not my kind of design. It's just not. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. And that's not going to do anybody any good on the floor, which maybe the game took out something. But see, there's just rooms with lamps in them only. And it's just kind of bare. But at the same time, it's kind of crowded in other areas. That's obviously an office. So I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be. I think the design of the outside is really unique. But yeah, there's the dining room. And there is a kitchen. So I think it is like a single family home, which makes it even more strange. And then you have a huge bar, which, see, that makes me think maybe it's not a family home. To me, if you go into a house and you're not sure what it is right off the bat, then that's a problem. And if it's in your town and you like it that way, that's fine. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but for an architect home that people are going to pay a lot of simoleons for, come on. This is just weird. Who would want to buy this? I don't get it. I just don't get it. See, that makes me think it's a hotel because all the bedrooms are the same. But then they would all share a bathroom, which is really strange. And then back here you have this very odd band room, really spread out, and it makes no sense whatsoever. I don't understand this at all. What is the meaning of this? It's just a random long band room with a bunch of identical bedrooms. I don't understand. And then who wants to take the trash up to the 4th floor? And I swear I think they used 10,000 of those black and silver lamps. And then just out of nowhere is one of those plasma things and the fortune teller. So again, very strange. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be, but I don't know. If you like the design from the outside and you wanted to remodel it, the problem with this one is the rooms are so oddly shaped and long. I don't really know what you would do with the build. And it doesn't come loaded with cool things either, so that's a problem. So definitely not worth being the most expensive architect home in the batch. I'm not really sure why they included this one, but that's just my personal opinion. If you've hung out with me this long, I sure do appreciate it. Thanks guys so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time.